Hello, and welcome back to Astrology Unlocked. I'm your guide, and today we are tapping into one of the most powerful, dynamic, and misunderstood forces in the entire zodiac. We're speaking directly to you, Aries. Are you ready? Because the cosmos has a direct message for its most courageous warrior, and it's one you need to hear right now. The universe is signaling a monumental shift for you. A cosmic reckoning for those who mistook your brilliant fire for a simple utility light. Those who warm themselves by your passion without ever offering a single log to your flame are now about to understand the profound cold of your absence. This isn't about revenge, Aries. This is about cosmic rebalancing. It's the universe recalibrating the scales that were tipped against you. You are on the verge of a sacred chapter where your initiative is returned to you as power, and the frustration you've felt transforms into unstoppable momentum. Let this message be your forge, the sacred fire that reshapes your path, reinforces your worth, and reignites your spirit. Take a deep breath, Aries. Your era of sovereign power begins now. I want to hear from you right from the start. If this message already resonates with that fiery spirit within you, go down to the comments and type, "I am the fire." Let the universe know you're ready to reclaim your power. And while you're there, if you haven't yet joined our community of cosmic explorers, please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Here at Astrology Unlocked, we are dedicated to providing you with deep, transformative astrological insights, and I want to make sure you never miss an update on your incredible journey. There's a unique kind of frustration that only a true Aries, a child of Mars, can fully comprehend. It's the feeling of being the engine of every single project, the spark in every relationship, the leader in every venture, only to have that incredible energy treated as an infinite, expected resource. You, Aries, are the zodiac's initiator. You are the cardinal fire sign, the one who begins the spring, the spark that lights the wildfire of creation. You love with a fierce, direct passion, don't you? You see potential where others see roadblocks. You take action before doubt can even creep in. You hold the line for others to feel safe, believing that courage was meant to inspire, not to enable. Yet somewhere on your path, someone began to take that incredible drive for granted. They mistook your leadership for an obligation. They saw your passion and thought it would always burn for them, that you would always initiate, always push forward, always carry the momentum for two. They didn't understand a fundamental cosmic law. The most powerful flames are the ones the universe watches over with the most intensity. So, pause for a moment. Take a breath. This is not a story about being defeated. This is a story about cosmic accounting. Every single time you initiated a plan, every moment you pushed a project forward when others faltered, every ounce of passion you poured into a connection, not a single spark has gone unnoticed. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, has been keeping a ledger. Mars, your fiery planetary ruler, has been recording every act of courage, every bold step you've taken, even when your own spirit felt depleted. And while you may have felt unseen in those moments, nothing about your contribution has been forgotten. Unlike people, the universe doesn't measure energy by the applause it receives. It measures it by its sheer output and intention. Every time you acted from a place of pure, unadulterated passion, your soul's frequency amplified. And every time someone passively benefited from it without contributing, the great scales of cosmic balance began their slow, deliberate tilt. Your heart, Aries, isn't reckless, it's brave. It carries the memory of countless battles, lifetimes, of taking the lead. The reason you act so decisively is because your soul has been trained in the art of courage through eons of trial and triumph. You were never sent here to be passive. You were sent here to move the world. But being a catalyst for change comes with its own profound lessons. Not everyone who benefits from your fire will understand its source. Some will mistake it for an endless supply. Some will draw from your energy until you feel like nothing but embers. And it is only when you decisively withdraw that they will finally comprehend how stagnant and dark their world becomes without your spark. So, if you've recently felt dismissed, unheard, or simply taken for granted, understand this: you are standing in the middle of a sacred test of your own sovereignty. Mars has been teaching you the art of strategic withdrawal, the ability to lead without losing yourself in the process. When you choose to halt your momentum instead of arguing for your worth, when you walk away from a one-sided dynamic instead of fighting for recognition, you are not surrendering. You are ascending to a higher operational frequency. Your silence is not weakness, it is a strategic maneuver. For in the stillness where you cease your output, the universe begins to write its response. You see, karma isn't just a mystical punishment. It's the law of action and consequence, a concept perfectly aligned with your Martian nature. And while humans have short memories, the cosmos does not. When someone dismisses your vital energy, they trigger a universal lesson designed not by anger, but by pure energetic law. The very fire they took for granted will become the spark they desperately search for when their own world grinds to a halt. The very initiative they ignored will become the echo that reminds them of their own passivity. This is how the universe educates, through the stark reality of absence. It's not meant to harm, it's meant to awaken. And you, dear Aries, were chosen to embody both roles, the catalyst and the mirror. Your drive is not a flaw, it is the very language through which karma speaks. When you give your energy, the universe expands through your actions. When others misuse that energy, the universe contracts around them, guiding them back to self-awareness through the uncomfortable reality of inaction. So, when you wonder if all your effort was in vain, know this: no act of true passion is ever wasted. It simply transforms. The energy that was siphoned from you will one day return in a form far more potent than you can imagine. Not as payback, but as divine restoration of your own power. Take another breath. Inhale courage, exhale frustration. You don't need to wish for their struggle. The lesson is already in motion. Mars's decisive hand is already rewriting their energetic blueprint. A message is being etched into their destiny. You will remember the one who moved mountains for you when no one else would even pick up a stone. And they will. But that realization is not for you to manage or witness. It is for you to release. Your true power emerges when you no longer need to see the scales balanced because you inherently trust that they already are. There comes a moment for every Aries when the output stops. It's not a slow fade or a gentle retreat. It's a switch being flipped. It is the deafening silence after an engine that powered everything suddenly cuts out. For you, Aries, that time is now. The world that was once propelled by your forward momentum, energized by your decisive words, and illuminated by the sheer force of your presence, now confronts the stark quiet of your departure. And it is in that abrupt stillness, that hollow void, that the lesson of your value truly begins. The people who once took your initiative as a given Now, stand in the echo chamber of your energy, feeling for the very first time what it means to live without the force that cleared their path. This is the karma of absence, Aries style. It doesn't whisper, it shocks. It doesn't strike with malice. It simply withdraws its power, revealing the true state of things. Because when Mars, your cosmic ruler, redirects its forces, the entire battlefield changes. All illusions of progress are stripped away. And what remains is the unvarnished truth. Without your initial push, there is no momentum. The ones who took your drive for granted must now face the cold, hard reality of their own inertia. Pause here. Breathe into this moment of stillness. Let it become your command center. Your withdrawal was never an act of revenge. It was an act of reclamation, a strategic redeployment of your most valuable asset, your energy, back to yourself. For so long, you existed as the warrior at the front, clearing the way for others. You absorbed their doubts, broke through their fears, and carried the banner of progress. But there comes a point in every cosmic cycle when Mars, the planet of action, commands its children to turn their focus inward, to no longer expend energy externally, but to reinforce their own core. That moment is now. Your absence, therefore, is not a punishment. It is a profound lesson in energetic balance. It is the universe declaring, enough. You have initiated enough. Let others now learn from the silence of your inaction. When you stop showing up to solve every problem, when your brilliant spark is no longer available to light their way, the entire dynamic shifts. Those who relied on your constant forward motion begin to feel the incredible weight of what they've lost. They might reach for your energy out of habit, but like trying to start a car with no engine, nothing happens. This is how karma teaches, not through punishment, but through stark contrast. By removing the force that was taken for granted, it allows true awareness to finally dawn. Your silence, fiery Aries, is powerful. It carries the weight of unspoken boundaries and the strength of self-respect. It is not an end. It is an initiation into a new level of self-mastery. The ones who once thought your energy was inexhaustible will learn that it was never theirs to command, only to appreciate. And when they realize this, they will see that your absence was not a void. It was a mirror, reflecting back to them the passivity within themselves. Let them feel it. Let them sit with it. That space is their new teacher. Meanwhile, you, the warrior of Mars, are learning a higher truth, that you can be a leader without carrying everyone on your back. You can be passionate without being consumed. You can be direct without being drained. Your courage does not demand your constant sacrifice. Your initiative does not require your exhaustion. When you walk away decisively, you do not close the door on connection. You simply slam it shut on dependency. You are no longer a rescuer. You are a sovereign force of nature. And in your stillness, the universe rewrites your energetic signature, transforming old patterns of overgiving into sacred boundaries of self-preservation. There is no lesson more potent than realizing that the person you relied on to start everything was the very miracle you failed to appreciate. The universe has a very direct way of teaching balance. It doesn't use subtlety, it simply removes the catalyst and allows the natural law of inertia to take over. It brings people back to the starting line they never had to face because you were always there to begin the race for them. This is karma, not as cosmic revenge, but as a practical demonstration, a sacred mirror where every soul must face its own reflection. And now, Aries, that reflection is beginning to appear for them. Those who once dismissed your value, who took your love for granted, who used your strength as a crutch for their own inaction. They are beginning to walk through the echoes of their own passivity. This is not because the universe is cruel, but because Mars and Saturn have entered into a powerful cosmic dialogue. Mars, your ruler, the planet of action and initiative, meets Saturn, the planet of structure, consequences, and accountability. Together, they create the ultimate lesson. No energy is created from a vacuum. What was initiated by your passion created their reality, and what was taken for granted now returns to them as a void of progress. Take a breath. Feel how still the world becomes when this truth begins to land. In astrology, when Mars and Saturn connect, action meets consequence. Impulses are met with reality checks. People begin to see not just what they did, but what they failed to do. And that is karma's true work. Not destruction, but awareness. It doesn't destroy, it awakens. For those who once misused your energy, this awakening may come wrapped in stagnation. A project that stalls, a plan that never gets off the ground, a life that suddenly feels boring and directionless. They begin to feel the weight of the inertia you always fought against. They start to miss the excitement and momentum that no longer surrounds them. And in that missing, they learn, not through punishment, but through absence, not through guilt, but through a stark recognition of reality. Because there comes a moment when the universe whispers to them, "Do you remember the soul who started everything without being asked?" And suddenly, every new endeavor feels daunting, every challenge insurmountable, because the initial spark of your courage is no longer there to light their way. They see in their own inaction the very dependency they once overlooked. And this, dear Aries, is not cruelty, it is divine balance unfolding. The energy they once relied upon has returned home to you, and the inertia they now feel is not yours to fix, it is theirs to overcome. So when you sense their energy reaching for you again, in a text, a call, or a sudden memory, know that it is not a call for your return. It is the ripple of karma touching their consciousness, reminding them of the momentum they lost by not valuing your contribution. And you, Aries, do not need to respond. You are no longer the engine of that story. You have graduated from that lesson. Your courage has already been recorded in the cosmos. Your passion was never unnoticed. Heaven has documented every bold move as proof of your power. Now, karma steps in to teach the rest. Those who took your fire for granted will now see how cold and still the world feels without it. They will look for someone to take the lead as you did, but find that no one will. They will search for excitement in new places, but realize that passion like yours cannot be replicated because it was born from the pure, unadulterated fire of a cosmic warrior. And when the weight of their own inaction settles, they will finally whisper in the silence, "I understand." That whisper is not for you to hear. It is for their own awakening. Because karma doesn't humiliate, it educates. It doesn't demand apologies, it demands self-awareness. And self-awareness is the first step toward true change. Let them walk that path, Aries. You are not their guide anymore. You are the lesson that life will keep teaching them until they finally understand what divine, self-starting energy truly means. When you finally recognize your own power, Aries, no one ever again has the ability to make you feel small. There is a sacred strength that comes after the battle, not a quiet peace, but a charged, potent clarity. You have walked through the fire of disappointment, the frustration of being undervalued, and the loss of energy so profound that even the stars held their breath. You have led with unwavering courage and been misunderstood for it. You have pushed forward against all odds and been called too much. But beneath the surface of that frustration, something magnificent has been forged, the rebirth of your sovereign self. Take a slow, powerful breath. This is the moment your spirit begins to rise from the ashes, not as a victim, but as a victor. The universe has been preparing you for this, a rebirth through Mars, where frustration no longer defines you. It fuels you. For years, Mars may have driven you to pour your energy into external projects and people, so much so that you forgot your own mission. You charged into others' battles, ignited their dreams, and lost track of your own inner fire. But now, as Saturn stands in aspect to Mars in your sky, the lesson shifts. Action meets wisdom. Courage meets strategy. You are remembering that your fire is meant to build your own empire, not just to warm someone else's. You are no longer the one who was taken for granted, you are the one who is in command. When an Aries awakens to their true sovereignty, it is not a quiet event, it is a declaration. It happens with the force of a supernova, a brilliant explosion of self-awareness. At first, you may not even notice the shift. The constant feeling of being drained starts to fade. The need for external validation begins to dissolve. One morning you wake up and realize you are not thinking about their problems anymore. You are strategizing your next move for you and for you alone. That is your resurrection. Because healing for an Aries is not about quiet reflection. It is an active process. Mars, your celestial ruler, teaches through momentum. The art of moving forward is your medicine. Every new project you start, every goal you set, every physical challenge you conquer, these are not distractions. They are acts of alchemical transformation. You are purifying your spirit by washing away the illusions of dependency. You were never too much. You were never too aggressive. You were never wrong for leading from the front. You simply forgot that the greatest leaders must first lead themselves. Now, Mars whispers, do not build walls, build your own kingdom. That is your new power. Awareness of who you are. Awareness of what you bring to the table. Awareness that true partnership does not require self-abandonment. Take another breath. Let your shoulders square up. You are standing at the threshold of your new vibration, the frequency of self-sovereignty. Many Aries, after being deeply undervalued, might double down, pushing even harder in the wrong direction. But you, dear soul, have learned. That pause you took was not a retreat, it was a strategic regrouping. You were not defeated, you were rearming. Every disappointment has been reforging your passion into purpose, your impulsiveness into strategic action. You are not less fiery now. Your fire is simply more focused. You no longer need to lead others to feel powerful. You no longer crave being the strong one to feel seen. Because now, you have witnessed what happens when you give away your power too freely. The world moves forward for others, but you remain stuck. This time, your healing is about remembering that your primary mission is your own. When you no longer need external validation of your worth, the universe itself will validate it for you. There is a powerful sense of purpose that comes after a long battle. Not the silence of loneliness, but the focused quiet of a general planning their next victorious campaign. This is where you stand now, Aries. After the cosmic lessons, the frustrations that reshaped your spirit, and the endless cycles of initiating, pushing, and starting over, you have arrived at the edge of something sacred, true autonomy. Yet in this freedom, there can be a strange, quiet question, can't there? You may wake up with a renewed sense of purpose, but still feel a faint query in your heart. Will anyone ever be able to match my fire? To be a true partner, not a project? That quiet question doesn't mean you are unhealed. It means you are finally ready for an equal. Because every person who has walked beside you, those who couldn't keep up, those who were intimidated by your light, those who left when your drive became too much for their comfort, they were not failures, they were instructors. They taught you discernment. They carved out space within you for a connection that would not drain you, but would amplify you. And now, the planets confirm it. The karmic lesson is complete. In astrology, this phase is known as the era of divine compensation. After Mars's long journey through the shadow of external validation and Saturn's hard lessons in boundaries, your soul begins to rise into its rightful place of command. Where there was frustration, there will now be recognition. Where you once had to fight to be heard, you will now be respected without explanation. This is not a coincidence. It is cosmic correction. The universe has watched every ounce of energy you expended, every bold action that went unappreciated. Every night you channeled your frustration into a new plan instead of into bitterness. It remembers. And now, it moves to return what was once siphoned off, not as payback, but as a promise fulfilled. The era of divine compensation is when karma transforms into grace. It is the moment your heart, once tested through fire, becomes magnetic to all that aligns with your sovereign vibration. And the first sign of this monumental shift is not another person. It is you. You begin to operate differently. Your energy no longer rushes to fix, to lead, to rescue. It simply is a powerful, self-contained, radiant force. And when that happens, something in the universe responds. The souls who carry a matching frequency, the ones with their own fire, begin to feel your light. They may appear suddenly, a chance meeting, a professional collaboration, a stranger who meets your direct gaze without flinching. They arrive not because you were searching for them, but because your soul, at last, became a beacon of its own power. When your energy vibrates in harmony with self-respect, the universe doesn't send you projects to fix. It sends you partners to build with. Not karmic connections, but conscious alliances. The kind that does not require you to dim your light to make them comfortable. The kind that sees your ambition not as a threat, but as an inspiration. This is the difference between karma and destiny. Karma brings you the lesson. Destiny brings you the ally. And Aries, you are now entering your destined phase. The person who comes next will not need to be convinced of your value. They will simply recognize it because power respects power. This connection will feel different. It will not be a project. It will not require you to be the constant engine. It will move with mutual respect, like two commanders planning a campaign together. It will not demand that you change. It will celebrate how far you've come. This love will not arrive to complete you, but to build an empire alongside you. Breathe that truth in. Feel it expand through your chest, like the first light of dawn over a new battlefield. one of your own choosing. You have made it. You are rising. And as you rise, the universe salutes you, for it knows what comes next is not another battle, but your victory parade. Step forward with courage, Aries. Look not behind you, for the past has served its purpose. Your next campaign is calling, one of rebirth, radiance, and rightful reign. Thank you for being here with me today. If this message has ignited your spirit, please leave a like to share that energy and share your own story of reclaiming your fire in the comments below. Every time an Aries steps into their power, the entire world gets a little bit brighter. Until next time, stay brave, stay brilliant, and keep unlocking the incredible secrets the universe has in store for you.